Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nick930. Today I am joined here with my brother Chris, and we're going to take a look at the full-length trailer for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, I did an analysis for this earlier this week, and at the Star Wars Celebration, they released a full-length trailer, so we're going to take a look at that now and do a kind of frame-by-frame analysis. So, starting off here, we can see that it is EA, DICE, and Criterion is part of this game. So
yeah, it's going to be Burnout in space.
I hope that's the case because I haven't seen anything good from Criterion in a while, and they were doing that like rally sport game. Remember that?
No, it was like a full adventure sport.
Yeah, it was some weird thing. It was kind of like Ubisoft Steep, and I guess that game got canceled or something because we haven't heard about it for like 3 years or so.
Yeah, this is Criterion's doing the pod racing aspect of this game.
I hope so. And this trailer seems to extend from what we saw in the other trailer. So starting off here, we see Starkiller Base from the Force Awakens movie. And they've already said in an interview that this is going to be a playable area in both the single player and the multiplayer. And you can see we have some black TIE fighters. Again, this is going to take place kind of in between. I don't think that's racist. It's going to take place in between the Return of the Jedi and the Force Awakens. And it's going to be a totally brand new story. Here we can see that same droid I mentioned earlier in the analysis. This seems to be like the little comic relief sidekick for the main protagonist.
Sure, it looks like it almost looks like the droids from The Empire Strikes Back.
Well, like the Viper droids?
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, and I talked to a friend of mine about that, and he thought the same thing, but now we can see it close up. The Viper droids are a lot bigger.
That's true.
It actually kind of reminds me of that little trash droid from Tatooine in the Phantom Menace.
It reminds me of that, and there's a droid that looked very similar to that in one of the episodes of the Clone Wars.
Right.
It was a kind of comic relief character in that too.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case here, because I feel like every Star Wars movie has had some kind of comic relief. And it looks like they're going to hyperspace, and they're in that same ship that was in the other trailer. This seems to be the main ship for the characters in the story, so we're going to see a lot more of that. And it looks like this scene is taking place before the events of Return of the Jedi, so we're getting a little bit of a prequel here. And you can see that this squad was part of the Battle of Endor, and I'm thinking this might actually be the first mission in the game.
No, that was from one of my matches in Battlefront 1 when I actually did good.
The only match you're able to get online. So that's interesting. They have their own outfits, and they seem to be some kind of special forces unit, and we haven't seen that before, so this is all brand new. And this next clip, let me rewind here. The next clip here shows them flying through the debris of the Death Star and a Star Destroyer after the battle, which is pretty cool. I hope you actually get to fly and it's not just a cutscene. Did you notice that last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is just more story-based stuff. Here they kind of jumped ahead, and this Millennium Falcon.
You know, that looks like the scene from the Force Awakens.
That's what
trailer.
I thought. And if you pause right here, you can actually see that's the castle.
It's
Maz Kanata's, I think. Kanata's. So they're going to jump all the way ahead to Force Awakens, and I think we're going to take part in battles during Force Awakens, which would be pretty sweet. But what's interesting about this scene is that these TIE fighters are not Force Awakens TIE fighters. They're the same old school ones, but the Millennium Falcon's still there. Which that
but
makes
the
sense.
castle's still there too.
Yeah, and you know what makes sense about that?
It's not ruined because I think that in the trailer, and you might be able to pull up the trailer for the Force Awakens, that the
Castle was gone
in
already?
It was in ruins, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess at that point it might have been because they were trying to escape. Or actually, in that scene, it wasn't the Millennium Falcon; it was the X-wings that were flying through.
Right.
And that was when the fight started. Yeah, that's actually true. But another thing I was just remembering from The Force Awakens, Han Solo knew Maz. So this might actually be about what happened there. Like, you actually get to see him interacting with Maz for the first time.
Yeah. Side note, I think that might be part of the story, driving part of the story for the Han Solo anthology movie.
You mean the or not the reboot, the new?
No, the one with Donald Glover.
So you think they'll borrow the same elements? You think this will be canon, or I feel like they have to be canon at this point. They'd be really careful what they do.
They're all canon, but I think that no, when he interacts, when Han Solo interacts here in this world,
right?
But let's.
All right, keep going. Here we see that huge space battle. They're showing a little bit more, and I'm looking forward to this because the space battles were the coolest part of the Battlefront games. or at least the second one. The first one actually didn't have space battles. Did you know that?
Well, the DLC.
No, there wasn't. No, I'm talking about the original Battlefronts.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have any.
Talking about Battlefront 1 from the most recent.
Yeah, the EA one. And this is interesting. I've never seen this
It's a
before.
new villain.
I'm thinking it's not, because I think you hear the Emperor's voice here. I think it's just like kind of a stand-in.
He's never.
He's brand new.
Yeah.
So this might be the stand-in like villain in between the Emperor and Kylo Ren.
Well, it could very well just be another general. I mean, throughout the Clone Wars and throughout a lot of the prequels, they had different generals that were your kind of focal villain
Right.
figure.
Yeah, so, I mean, they had to have some kind of villain to drive the story. But I'm curious whether or not we're going to end up being at odds with this guy. I feel like they're not going to play out the entire story with you being a good
It
guy
very
or a
well
bad guy.
could be the what was Star Wars Unleashed 2 is when I think you flip sides.
I think you did, yeah. You started off as being... Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. That was a cool story. I wish they'd built on that. Now, this is a really interesting scene that stood out to me. This looks a lot like... Actually, I thought it was Sullust, but now that I'm pausing it here, you see some plants coming out here. So this is a totally different plant I've never seen before.
That looks like a planet from Star Trek.
It actually kind of does. But we can see they got Mark Hamill here again, or someone who looks kind of like him. So we got Luke Skywalker showing up, and our main protagonist has him cornered. So we're going to see a little bit more of what happens to Luke after the Return of the Jedi, which I'm excited to see. So this scene they showed off in the last trailer.
Nick, what would you describe this machine right here?
The big walker in the back?
Yeah.
A dog robot? a really big dog robot? So they showed this off in the last trailer, and this is when they started talking about the multiplayer aspect of the game. So this might very well be a multiplayer map in the game. And it looks like they are going to bring Walker Assault back. That was a pretty cool game mode.
That was a good game mode.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it wasn't... I'm glad they didn't do the same thing that Battlefield does, and just do Conquest and the same modes that no one ever else
I
plays.
still think they should do a Titan mode though.
Like 2142 Titan. Well, that's what I'm hoping the space battles are like, because that's what the old ones were kind of like, where you'd go inside the spaceships, you would blow them up from the inside out.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was an awesome mode, and that's what a lot of people were frustrated about with the last game. Okay, so the next frame here, we have another big space battle. This one looks insane. I'm hoping this is multiplayer, not just like, CGI cutscene.
No, that's CGI.
Well, okay, yeah, that right there is part of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. It's really hard to tell what's multiplayer and what's part of the single player. That's probably single player. That's interesting. Pause right there.
Yeah, right there is the.
I thought that was cool. They put that in, kind of like a little Easter egg.
Well, I don't know about an Easter egg.
Because that's stupid.
It's the awful CG element added to Star Wars.
And it looks so much better in the game. That's the best
so
part.
much better.
So, okay, now in this trailer, because before they had started talking about multiplayer earlier, but now we're talking about just multiplayer. They're showing off the prequel right off the bat. A lot of people complained about that not being in there. So we're going to get Darth Maul, and we already found this out in the last trailer.
Is that Darth Maul before Liam Neeson's?
I think so, because this looks like the same place.
Because Darth Maul is not dead.
Oh, I swear, if you bring this up again. I don't care about the dumb comics. This Darth Maul was dead in the movies.
He's not dead.
I know he's not dead. But that looks incredible. That looks actually a little bit better than the movies. What do you think?
It's on par.
It looks really good. I mean, that doesn't look as good.
No.
But now we're just nitpicking. But what's interesting about that scene is that they have Yoda fighting Darth Maul, so they're really making it so you can live out your Star Wars fantasies. You can do whatever the heck you want.
Oh, Yoda was fighting. I mean, yes, you're right, but it's
But
not
he
like,
didn't fight
it's not
Darth
like
Maul
Yoda
in the same.
wasn't around.
I know, but this scene here, that's the
He had
same
that
place.
laughable fight with Count Dooku.
He did. That was terrible. But this is the same area where they fought in the Duel of the Fates in Phantom Menace. If you haven't noticed already, it's the same platform and everything.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool, and I'm hoping they have like their own special Jedi fighting.
It would be interesting if they have kind of like a co-op, hero fighting.
Well, like going through a story or just fighting.
No, not necessarily
bots and
that,
stuff?
but as far as like if you could do a 3 or 4 on a 2-on-2 or a 2-on-1.
Well, they had a mode like that, and those are some of the more fun modes in that game. And they had smaller hero-based modes where you would have 3 heroes on one team, 3 heroes on the other, or I think it went up to 5 for both teams. And they fought each other, and it was, if you died, you were out. And then you just took over a normal soldier. And those were fun modes.
That would be neat.
I would like to see a return of that. Here they're showing off, because they're trying to go and talk about how they're doing all the eras. So here we have
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens heroes, right. So we're definitely getting that for the multiplayer.
And that clearly looks like Force Awakens and not The Last Jedi.
Right, yeah, her hairdo and everything. So this is definitely Force.
Her hairdo, her outfit, all
Well,
that.
that's another thing I read. The pre-order bonus at the end of this trailer that they're talking about, where it says you get the Last Jedi heroes.
Big surprise.
That's true, but here's the thing. I was reading into that. It's not unique heroes. It's unique hero outfits for both Kylo Ren and yeah. So who cares? They're gonna play exactly the same. And they said there's some other thing, like some kind of skill points or something weird that we don't really know about. But they're not going to be unique heroes. They have not said like you're going to get old Luke or something like that. They're going to make it so the heroes are not going to be bullet sponges. They're going to die a little bit quicker, but they're going to have more heroes on the field at once.
That's
you don't like that?
That's a bad idea. I also hope that they bring back the Rogue One DLC and refashion it in some way, because the game completely dropped off a cliff.
And you never got to try it.
In the last 2 DLC
I
packs.
feel the same way with all those packs. I mean, I know they're trying to make new content. They got all kinds of new stuff here. And if you go back here, you can see that there was Hoth showcased, and it's a different version of Hoth. You see it right here. This one has Tauntauns. We've never seen those before. But this is a Hoth where it's a sunset, which doesn't really make sense in the chronological order here, because that never happened.
May not. Well, if there's,
they're taking a lot of liberty with the story. But yeah, they're changing it up, and I'm hoping they still have the original maps, because they were good maps. There's nothing wrong with them. Okay, so we're gonna just stop rambling here. Let's go back to what we were talking about. So, we got Hoth here. We can see more Walker Assault, and they introduced the Tauntauns.
Well, we're assuming this is Hoth.
I would hope it's Hoth, considering they're wearing the exact same things.
I know, I'm just saying.
And then, so they have Tauntauns. They didn't have those in the last game. I'm thinking these are going to work a lot like the horses in Battlefield 1. You can see their...
yeah, this game very well could be more of a...
Battlefield 1 experience.
Influenced on Battlefield.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Battlefield 1 did very well.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I'm saying I agree.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then we see some space combat.
This is Rogue One. This is Rogue One right there. Go
what?
back.
No, how do you know it's Rogue One?
Because look at the opening on the left. That's the shield.
That
opening.
does kind of look like it, doesn't it? I didn't even notice that, because I looked at this and at first I thought it was a Trade Federation ship from Phantom Menace.
No.
But then I saw the X-wings and I got really thrown off.
No, that's Rogue One for sure. That's the satellite.
So we got Y-wings, X. No, here's the thing: the X-wings. Oh wait, yeah, X-wings were.
Hey, watch the movie.
All right, so I guess that's Rogue One, and here we have Kylo Ren throwing, I guess, just a normal rebel around.
No, go back to that.
That's just a normal soldier he's killing right there.
Ouch.
Yeah, right. He's taking out his teenage angst on them.
It's that same very logical lightsaber.
It looks awesome, though. You can't even deny it.
This is yet again pre-Force Awakens because he has the mask.
Yeah, so that's interesting, though, because you mentioned that when we were taking a look at the new Last Jedi. He doesn't have any replacement masks. He's done with that mask.
I don't know if he has. Maybe one of his mask maker guys died on the planet.
The planet that exploded?
Yeah.
Death Star number 3?
Death Star number 3.
I guess so. I mean, that's a shame.
Kylo Ren's got to find a new mask guy.
All right, so that is our look at Star Wars Battlefront 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out my channel, like and subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I will see you all next time.